Hello. In this video, I will show you how to answer the following question. How many steps does a person have to take to cross the entire state of California? How would such a question be answered through analysis? Two main questions need to be answered to obtain the necessary parameters to perform the calculations involved in answering the central question. First, we need to find out the distance from the southern border to the northern border for the state of California. Second, we have to determine the conversion factor for the number of steps per mile. So, let's start with the first question. To start with, the question needs to be entered into a search engine. In this example, and others into the future, I will use Google as my search engine of choice. Upon entering the first question into Google, the answer above is the response. The distance of California from the southern border to the northern border is a range of 800 to 880 miles. The distance that we will use for our calculation will be 800 miles. Some viewers might not agree with the method of analysis, whether that be how we obtain the value of parameters or the considerations involved. My goal for the dimensional analysis videos uploaded on this channel is to spark the interest of the viewers watching, not to be exact in our analysis. After seeing the analysis performed in this video, each viewer may ask their own questions and perform their own rudimentary analysis. Where are we at in our current analysis? We have one of the two critical parameters needed to carry out the desired analysis. The distance in miles across the state of California is 800 miles. Next, we need to determine the conversion factor of the number of steps in a mile. After obtaining the number of steps in a mile, we can perform the calculation to arrive at an answer to the question of how many steps would be required to cross the state of California. The search term that was entered into Google is how many steps in a mile? The answer is approximately 2,000 steps per mile. All right, we now have the two values needed to carry out the analysis outlined in the introduction. Let's set up an equation to determine the number of steps that would be required to cross the entire state of California. The total number of steps necessary to walk across the state of California equals the distance across the state, which is 800 miles, multiplied by the conversion factor of 2,000 steps per mile. The calculation reveals that it would take 1.6 million steps to cross the state of California. The calculation revealed that 1.6 million steps would be required to walk across the state of California. I hope that you see that questions can be answered relatively easily with a simple computer, using a search engine like Google. I hope that you have enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching and have a good day.